Welcome back, everyone, to the After Dark Film Society. We have a very special treat for you today because we're going to be talking about three movies today. Two of them are essentially the same, they're based off the same play. One of them is actually just a recording of a stage play, and the other one is a nice adaptation, a reimagining of a Shakespeare play. They're all Shakespeare plays.
Yay.
I'm Sunny.
I'm Ashley.
I'm Bea.
And I'm Chloe.
We're starting off with Much Ado About Nothing, Bea and I.
Yay.
I am going to be referring to and talking about Sam Waterston's version of it, which he did in 1973.
Yes,
Maybe
ma'am.
1972. In 1973. And it is Much Ado About Nothing as You Know It, but for some reason it is set in 1910s America. So no need to put on any accents. People can just talk as they wish. That version of it, we see the same kind of plot that Much Ado About Nothing has to offer, as much plot as there is in Much Ado About Nothing. Benedict and his boys are coming back from a battle to their home turf, where all of the single ladies are ready to throw themselves at them, unless you are Beatrice, who hates everyone.
She's just a baddie, okay?
She is. She is. I have a note here that says they are dressed like the Ranger from Curious George.
They are, though, and I don't like that.
Um, a couple of a lot of this is characters talking to each other about the events that are unfolding, in which a hero wants to marry Claudio. Claudio has decided he is in love with Hero. Benedict, who is his buddy, proclaims that he's never going to be married because women be shopping, is what I wrote down.
That's actually what he said, though, and, like, it's kind of hilarious, because the entire time, him and Beatrice's relationship is, you wanna fuck me so bad it makes you look stupid.
I mean, yeah, it does. And then some goons are afoot. They do some background stuff. Don Pedro woos Hero for Claudio, but Don John, his brother, tells Claudio that Don Pedro has wooed Hero for himself. This conflict is instantly resolved. I have a note that says, like an episode of Three's Company, the gang around Beatrice and Benedict prank them into thinking the other is in love with them.
Yeah, it's like Three's Company, but less gay.
Yeah, I would say that. I'd say that. So then Don John pranks Claudio into thinking, well, he pranks Claudio and Don Pedro into thinking Hero has been unfaithful, and Claudio crashes out at their wedding. Um, Hero fakes dying, so Claudio regrets being a bitch. I write down.
Yep.
And then Claudio agrees to marry Antonio's daughter as repayment for indirectly killing Hero, but then it's revealed that it's actually Hero, and then the play is over. Some other stuff happens in the
They sing a
background,
song.
but I'll let B talk about that because in Sam Waterston's version, their like villains are way less interesting. But
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead if
Okay.
you'd like to speak.
Sure. Oh my god, me? Me?
You.
Okay. So, the 1993 Kenneth Branagh version, which continues Kenneth Branagh's vision of, um, making a movie of every Shakespeare play just so he can star in it, your fave could never special interest that hard. Um, But the 1993 version is really fun. It has an absolutely stacked cast for no reason. Like, there's Emma Thompson, who plays Beatrice, and Kenneth Branagh, who plays Benedict. But also, it keeps punching you in the face with just other people you wouldn't expect, like Denzel Washington and
Hey,
Keanu Reeves,
hey.
and of course Robert Sean Leonard. But
Yeah,
also,
so
like, Kate Beckinsale and Michael Keaton and Imelda Staunton for some reason. And for those who are a big fan of, like, specifically 80s British sitcoms, Ben Elton is in it. And he is the mastermind between things like The Young Ones, which is crazy, and he was also in, I think, Blackadder. But anyway, it has a stacked cast for no reason. As much as I love the Edwardian um vision of the Sam Waterston version, I do love how whimsical they make this version right out the gate, because it's set in Italy and it opens onto, like, the rolling hills, and then the girlies are all frolicking together.
it's
Um, d
just perfect.
It's
have you
stunning.
ever frolicked like that? Because
No.
I've never frolicked like that.
I want to frolic like that with you. Could
Yeah,
you
can we
imagine?
frolic?
We would thrive in that environment. Let's be for real.
I would have
Yeah.
no problems in that environment. Everything would be gone.
We would be having the time of our lives.
Exactly. Like,
And
laying in the fields all day, eating, like, grapes or whatever, and braiding each other's hair. That's just what
yeah, and
life
those
is.
white flowy dresses that never get stained.
Yeah, this might be our end
No.
goal, guys. Is this where we're gonna end up in the future? Because that's what I'm
Yes.
hoping.
Yeah,
That's what I
anyway,
want.
let's all go to Italy together and then immediately get kicked out for going, "Where are the subtitles?"
What did you say?
Sorry, Buongiorno? Anyway, let's mosey on back to
Que
what we're
está
supposed
la
to talk
Pope?
about. The Pope?
Que está la Pope?
Como está la Pope, right, guys?
La Pope from Chicago.
The White Sox. God
Got
bless
that
you,
too.
and all of yous, and yous in the back. And God bless the Bears.
God bless the bear. Anyway, we got to keep going.
Okay, so I'd say there are a lot of, like, subtle differences between the two different versions, as opposed to, like, the big one of, like, the setting. Because I think, um, like, in the Waterston version, the chemistry between, like, Benedict and Beatrice is a lot more subtle. Like, it's a lot more dry, and it's very
Mhm.
much word focused. Whereas with Emma Thompson and Kenneth Branagh, they're it's very, I don't know how else to describe it other than just, like, cinematic, Like,
Well,
it's
You can
so
see the yearning. You can see it.
yeah, I mean the point maybe that you're getting to is that in Kenneth Branagh's version with Robert Sean Leonard, which is why we're talking about it, um, since they're making that as a movie, they have the option of, like, getting right up in Emma Thompson's face and she can express herself, up close. And like you just said, you can see the yearning. But with Sam Waterston's version, even though they've filmed that to put on PBS and televise it, it's still the medium of a play. And so people in the back row who can't see the actors' faces still need to know what's going on. So that's why they're still, they keep in a lot of that wordplay from
as
the
much as,
script.
like, that is a big part of it, I'd say the way especially Kenneth Branagh plays Benedict, it leans more into, like, physicality rather than, like, in terms of his whole body. Like, he relies a lot on physical comedy, I would say.
Mhm.
Which obviously there are a lot of nuances between the medium of, like, a play and cinema, but even just the way that they speak and that they move is so much bigger.
Mhm.
And whereas, like, Sam Waterston, it's a lot drier. Like you really have to listen, which I think is probably why they've done it, is because in a play you really have to listen anyway. But
Yeah,
a movie, it's a lot more showing, not telling. So
yeah.
if that makes any sense, I have drank
No,
so much NyQuil in the past day that I think my brain is cooked right now.
no,
It makes
you're
sense.
right. Like, you're
No,
right. Like, the Sam Waterston version is not one that you can like be on your phone while it's playing. You have to really be in it, and I don't want to say engaging with it because that's not really the right word, but like, yeah, you really have to be paying attention because it's so focused on what they're saying as opposed to what's happening in front of you.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
if I didn't watch it with you guys, I would have been in trouble because I'd never like I've heard of the play, but I didn't know what it was about before, and that was my first like exposure to it. And it was like 2 hours of a language I didn't understand, so if I had watched it alone, I really don't think I'd have got it at all.
The thing that I
Yeah.
think the Sam Waterston one misses is the familiarity between Benedict and Beatrice. Don't get
Yes.
the sense that they know each other, whereas this is not me dissing the acting craft, but where in the 1993 one, the fact that those two actors are married probably contributes a lot to the history that you can feel between them.
Hmm.
Which,
It's
does
a lot
anyone
more
know about this?
playful.
I am aware that Kenneth Branagh broke Emma Thompson's heart, and I hate him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It adds the layer of Hollywood drama that Shakespeare would appreciate because
Right.
for anyone who doesn't know, he cheated on her with Helena Bonham Carter.
Oh my
That's not
God.
funny. That's not funny. That's
It,
just so wild.
it is
What? No.
unhinged. Yeah.
I think
Oh
we may
my
have just
god,
broken Ashley.
we literally did. What? Why was this information when we watched it?
Girl, you should have done your own research.
You
Apparently,
mean
I didn't know I needed to do Hollywood drama research. My goodness.
Girl, this is Irish British common knowledge.
Yeah, it's like a fact that if you look at Kenneth Branagh, you're like, that is a gross man.
Yeah.
this is still
We all
talked
hate
about
him.
like in interviews today? Like this is common knowledge.
Emma Thompson is like the fucking queen of England. Like she has never done anything wrong. Like even in a movie where it is not good, she is good. She wrote the Sense and Sensibility movie and won an Oscar for it. She is the only person who knows how to adapt Shakespeare, how to adapt Jane Austen. She gets it. She is a girl's girl.
Look, Love
She is.
Actually was personal to the public here. It was personal.
I still hate Alan Rickman. He didn't do anything.
No.
And he's passed away now, so maybe I shouldn't say this, but if I saw him in real life
I
on
would be
site,
scared because he's dead.
well,
Do you know who else should be dead? Claudio. As much as we love Robert Sean Leonard, kill
No,
Claudio.
Claudio's a little bitch. Claudio is a little bitch. Anyway.
I have a few I have a few more notes just about the kind of few things that Sam Waterston's version did. Um, we have discussed this before, how insane this set looks. I say it feels like a Monty Python sketch. Like
Yeah.
already, if you said Much Ado About Nothing, but it is set in 1898 Central America during the Spanish-American War, like that sounds like a Monty Python sketch. And then I have a note here that says it feels like Disney World, like it's not necessarily lived in, but it's very elaborate and detailed. Um, there's a
Yeah,
live,
it almost has the feel of like, I don't know how else to describe it other than like a show home, like when
yeah,
everything's set up so precisely. And there's almost like a detachment from it, I guess, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah, it feels like you're in a doll's house when you're watching it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good descriptor for it because, like, it's so pretty, and I feel like, I mean, it changes, like, scenery quite a bit, like, you're not always in one place, but, like, it's like looking at, like, the Friends apartments, and, like, you wanna live there, but you know, like, that's such an iconic look for it that it's kinda, like, fake.
Mhm.
Yeah. But they
It's
have a
definitely
pond on stage.
Yeah, and live birds, like a literal duck or a goose or something.
Yeah, they've got a live duck on set with its own pond.
PETA
Um,
is quaking.
they have, like they have a house that has all the floors, all of the furniture in it, and, like, it changes camera angles, so it's like 1 minute they're in the house, and then they're, out on the balcony and outside the house, and I don't know how they did that live. I could imagine a world where they have, like, the house on one side, and then they have the pond and the outside on the other side, and then they're just like but with the way the sets are so elaborate, I don't know how you have all of that in one spot and it's, like, working. That doesn't really matter. The last thing I wanna mention is the musical intermissions that they have, where every few minutes they just, like, stop and play music. Okay, I'm just gonna read this out as I've written it. Since comedy's definition has changed since Shakespeare's time, from things turn out fine and everyone dances to this is ha ha funny, both versions add a current day definition comedic elements to add to the new meaning. But the 70s was a time where they started revolutionizing TV and entertainment as a whole with technological advances, and people wanted to make their mark by switching up what was already well known.
Yeah, 100%, period. I
Um,
think it's a very interesting, way that they did it because even though people even now tend to think of the 70s as a little bit antiquated, like, just the feat of having all of that ready on stage is still something that's, like, nearly unfathomable.
yeah, they're not fucking around.
They're
This
not
was
fucking
just like
around.
this was just like Shakespeare in the Park too. This was this wasn't like Broadway. These were
No.
just people just like doing Shakespeare for fun.
I've been to so
Yeah,
many Shakespeare plays and I've never seen a boat on a river, a working bathroom, a live duck, and a barber shop and everything else they've thrown in. Like, it's crazy.
Mhm.
like, the
And you
Um,
can't
spectacle of it.
the bathtub.
yes, Sam was in a bathtub, which was very important to us when we were watching it. It's like a bathtub that's like the size of a sink too. So he's like real scrunched in there.
And Sam
Um,
Waterston is not a small man.
no, he is very tall. He's very tall. He's very skinny. So he's all scrunched up in there. Something I want to say about RSL's version, if I could talk about RSL for a second,
Yeah, for
is
sure.
everyone in that movie's very attractive, and except for Kenneth Branagh. And I I find it really funny how, when this movie gets talked about within the Dead Poet Society fandom, how often it is, people talk about how good Robert Sean Leonard looks in this movie. And I don't really know what it is, but on the second time watching it, it's not that physically he isn't good looking. I think it's just the way we kind of mentioned it before, the way Claudio behaves like an absolute child is
Yeah.
so unattractive. And again, I know Guy Pretty. I get it. I get
Guy
it.
Bear
Guy Pretty.
Guy cherubic features.
Yeah. But he really is not a very attractive character. He's not a guy that I would want anyone in my life to be with. You know, he sees Hero once and decides he's completely in love with her and no one else can have her.
Yeah,
Um,
emotionally, Claudio is so insane and volatile because he just goes 0 to 100 real quick on every emotion ever. And
mhm.
and if like you were to meet a man like that in real life, that would be such a red flag,
Yeah.
disgusting man child. Thank you, Sabrina.
Thanks, Sabrina.
But
Um,
it also lends itself to the way that I'd say the 1973 version, it all of the performances felt very like intimate, for lack of a better word. But the the 1993 version, all of the characters are so big.
mhm.
Like even like obviously Michael Keaton, his portrayal as Dogberry is
Stop.
insane and grotesque. Like it is such an interesting caricature of what Dogberry say in the 73 version is, and it is so weird, in a good way. And even like Keanu Reeves, who everyone shits on for being quite a stoic and monotone actor, I feel like his weird emo brooding aura lends itself to Don John so well. Like it's none of these people are real. Like none of these people are realistic at
Not at
all.
all.
And
I, I
it's so
actually
fun.
I actually have a fun fact about Michael Keaton from in this movie.
Yes.
Did you know that he wasn't supposed to be in it? He just showed up like that,
Yeah.
and they just followed him around with a camera.
No, that's just a documentary on Michael Keaton, honestly.
He's just like that.
Yeah,
No,
that's
it's
the post Batman insanity.
no, like the moment I he shows up on screen, the movie just takes like such a weird like, oh, okay,
Oh,
this is what we're
this
doing
is what
now.
oh, Michael
Like,
Keaton's
oh,
here now.
I guess this is what we're doing. But I also every time he's not on screen, I forget Denzel Washington is in it. And then
Denzel
every time he's back
Washington.
on screen, he's just so hot.
Beatrice
Denzel
turns him
Washington.
down.
For
Like, and
why?
coming from a bona fide lesbian, I would not turn down Denzel Washington.
No, okay. Denzel Washington is like, if I had to pick a Shakespeare actor, if I had to pick an actor who embodies what it means to be in different Shakespeare plays, where you can just be anyone that the writer needs them to be, it would be Denzel Washington. No two performances Denzel Washington has ever done have been the same. He is, I truly believe this, probably the greatest actor of like this era of
Oh,
cinema.
100%. Like,
And
even in
he's
the
so
grand
hot in
scheme
this
of things,
movie.
like, he's such a household name even now, but I genuinely think his acting as a whole, so underrated. So
I mean, he's
underrated.
won
Love
two
him.
Oscars.
Yes, but that's not enough.
You should be winning all of them.
Yeah, the Oscars should just be named the Denzels.
Yeah. Um,
But no, he's very good in this movie, but because the cast is so stacked and the characters are so big, you constantly just forget about somebody when they're not on screen. I don't know if anyone else did that, but every
Melda
time somebody comes on
Staunton.
screen,
I completely forgot
yeah,
until she
Imelda, every
showed up
time,
as that horny maid.
yeah, every time like somebody would pop on screen, I'm like, oh yeah, we're in this too, huh? But yeah, no, Michael Keaton's Dogberry is genuinely insane, and I love it so much. Do we want to talk about the, like, say, the darker elements, so to say? So when there's like the whole thing about shaming Hero by accusing her falsely of having cheated, basically.
Mhm.
Um, one thing I noticed is in the 73 version, it felt so raw and intimate to the point of like it was uncomfortable.
Yeah. Well, I
Like,
mean, okay, imagine for a moment you go to your friend's wedding. And, maybe it's happened a little quickly, but you're like, "Oh, it's my friend and I want to be there for them." You show up, everyone is there. They're at the altar in front of the guy, and they say, do you take Hero to be your lawfully wedded wife?" And he goes, "No, because she's a fucking whore who cheated on me last night. We've known each other a week. She
yeah.
cheated on me last night, and I saw it. My buddy Don Pedro saw it. You're a whore. You should be killed. I'm gonna tear down the decorations, and I'm gonna leave, bitch." And then everyone leaves, and we're like, "Oh my God, can you believe that just happened?" And then you hear she died.
Yeah. Like it's so much, but the play really makes you sit in the discomfort of it. Whereas I think I know a lot of like critics didn't like this aspect of the 1993 version, but it has a lot of it plays to comedy. It
Mhm.
plays to, because like a lot of the movie, it is so over the top. It really, returns to comedy and farce rather than the reality of how fucking uncomfortable that would be. What something I really appreciated the play for doing was just like showing you the raw intimacy of this is gross actually.
Yeah,
But because the play, it does, or not the play, the movie does the very improv, like, yes, and where it just keeps going, and you're like,
right?
okay, it goes full circle into just being funny.
Yeah,
But it also is like Claudio is such a little bitch.
yeah.
So I don't know, like, if you guys notice that about the play or any other differences like that, where
I
the movie is very over the top, almost to its own detriment.
I remember thinking about the play, like what you're saying, how I don't know if it's because the scene is longer or if it's set up, like the lighting is a bit dimmer, and so they, like you said, they make you really be in the scene, and feel how, uncomfortable that is. And also because Claudio's wrong, it feels like, oh, this is so bad. This is really, really bad. And in the movie, it feels like as the audience, we already know what the ending is going to be, because even when that happens, it still feels hopeful. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's the right way to put it,
No, they
but it just
never lose the touch of whimsy.
right. Even when something bad happens, they're like, "Well, we're gonna figure this out and everything's gonna be okay." But in the play, it's like, "Are we gonna figure this out? Is everything gonna be
Yeah.
okay?"
The play brings you through the emotions of, "Oh, this might not have the happy ending that, is usually spoon-fed to us."
Right.
And even though I'm sure if you go into it, the play, it does make you consider, "Oh, maybe they don't follow the play to a T.
Maybe this one hero actually dies.
Maybe in this one, nobody is happy and then everyone just goes home." And you know
Right.
what? Work. Work. But
Yeah,
no, the movie, it almost feels Disney-esque in the,
definitely.
everything's gonna be okay, because maybe the real love is the friends we made along the way and Michael
Yeah.
Keaton's Dogberry.
Yeah. I have one more fact to leave off with, but is there anything you guys want to say before I give that?
I think, we've pretty covered the differences, because it's not that deep of a play, it's not that deep of a story. It's
Mm-mm.
pretty surface level, but I think I have said all I've felt I need to say, if anyone else has anything.
I think we're good.
No, yeah, I think we're good to go.
Okay. So the final fact that I have is that 3 years after Sam did this play, and it kind of got mixed reviews at the time, um, he actually won an award for being in a Shakespeare play. He won an acting award for playing the title role in Hamlet.
Hamlet.
And with that,
And with that,
we'll segue into dun dun dun.
Chloe, it's your turn.
Hamlet.
it's your moment.
Quick question, guys. What would you do if you knew that your uncle had murdered your father? Then he goes to marry your mother, and everyone is celebrating apart from you, and you're being a moody teenager and nobody understands. And you decide, you know what, I've got to start murdering people. What would you do?
I would wear a cool hat.
Yeah, I'd wear a
Yeah.
hat movie.
Have a breakdown of Blockbuster. Because Shakespeare has been asking this question since 1600. And in the year 2000, Michael Almereyda took a stab in a very Hamlet fashion
Okay.
at
hang
redoing
on.
the play as a movie in Y2K corporate America. And, you know, that's exactly the same thing as a medieval court.
Mhm.
Yes, Ethan Hawke plays Hamlet. A knitted hat, which is certainly a choice.
No, it's the best part of the movie. The screen time that hat gets.
It kind of
It's
looks
more
like
than any actor.
Yeah.
It looks like a smart monkey, like the colors they picked even like
No, that
It's his
hat
crown.
deserves its own Denzel, honestly.
yeah, it does.
The Denzel for hats.
As a side note, we should start referring, like, if we ever want to give like an actor props or something, we want to celebrate something, we should say, I want to give a Denzel.
No, I'm already there, Sunny. I'm already chairman
All right,
of the
I'm glad.
Denzel.
I'm glad.
We're doing it.
Anyway, back to the plot of Hamlet. So, in its simplest version, the story of Hamlet is the story of the Lion King, but there's a few extras going on. Hamlet has a girlfriend, Ophelia. Ophelia's got a very smothering family, and part of Hamlet's madness is whether he's really mad or if he's faking mad as part of his plot to make a play, or in this version, a movie, showing his uncle's guilt. And it ends up in people dying, everyone taking revenge, and then everyone's dead. But did that plot come across when we were watching the movie?
No.
No,
It-
not at all.
No.
I hold true to this still, that like 90% of this movie is Ethan Hawke doing a school shooter monologue.
No,
No,
you're right.
literally.
Like, he acts and looks like a Green Day reject.
An
Honestly.
eyeliner.
It's more like fucking Sleeping with Sirens, Pierce the Veil reject. Like, society, bro.
His weird, like, short film that he makes that is apparently supposed to show that his uncle killed his dad is, like, filmed like a porno for some reason.
Yeah, no, this whole movie gives like weird, it could turn into a snuff film energy.
It has the same vibe, and Sunny might be the only one that would understand this. Is like the 2003 Catwoman with, is it Halle Berry that plays her? Like, it is the same vibe entirely.
Yeah, well, so the Halle Berry Catwoman, like, it's kind of camp,
No, it's so
but
good. I will admit I do love that movie, but you know what I mean, like
but what I mean is, like, there are aspects of that where it's like, they can't be serious about this because it's so goofy, but everything about this movie is played completely seriously. Even when something stupid or funny happens, they are playing it so serious, and it's like, I can't tell if I'm supposed to laugh at that or if I'm supposed to be like, "Oh, yeah, society."
Yeah, it's not self-aware in the slightest. It's that
just
pretentious kid in the class who's like, I'm just playing devil's advocate, you know? It's like, dude, it's not that deep. It's not that deep.
Yeah.
it's just weird choice after weird choice. You use Shakespearean dialogue in a movie, and it can work. Romeo plus Juliet, it really works.
No, the doors that movie opened.
Nothing about that movie gives the same vibe as this one. For example, when the shootouts happen in Romeo plus Juliet and you've got people screaming at the sky, it's memeable, but it's also tragic. In this version, where you have a fencing match and people pull out a gun to shoot at point blank range, it doesn't give meme in quite the same
What to
way.
say? That you really meant well. Because you did.
Very much Drake getting shot in the graffiti.
On repeat.
It really does fit in with that SNL skit too, like, it really does, like, we immediately thought that watching it.
That's how it plays out. It plays out exactly like that SNL sketch.
There's a serious plot going on, but nobody knows what it is.
By the time we reached that point of the movie too, I was too far gone, like, I had no idea what was happening anymore.
No,
I
like,
don't
I
think they
watched
knew
this
what was going
movie
on.
Yeah, I watched this movie by myself, and I almost cried because it hurt my brain so badly, and I don't think I could tell you a single thing that actually went on beyond all the brooding and emo and guns.
What about
And
the
Bill
ghost
Murray was
that
there.
what about the ghost that goes into the vending machine?
The
I
Pepsi
don't
machine.
Machine is crazy. Well, Bea
Just
just mentioned Bill Murray there, and I'm laughing at one of Sunny's notes. Are you right? Bill Murray acts like a wooden board.
He does. Like, I don't know if, I don't know really anything about his background, like how he got started in acting, if he went to school or whatever. But like, he really just doesn't it doesn't seem like he has the chops to be doing Shakespeare, because you can kind of tell in his face he's just saying the words without giving thought to like how he should be saying them or what he should be doing when he's saying them. He's just saying the words. He I mean, he acts like a plank of wood. It's um
But
He's
he's
but I
so
so
good in other movies. But this one, he feels like he just got copy pasted, and it's like, why are you here, Bill Murray?
yeah, it's a very odd. I mean, like, this was well after, Ghostbusters. I mean, he was doing like Groundhog Day around this time. Why is he doing Ethan Hawke moody, broody Hamlet?
he's just
Yeah,
there for
there's like okay, so there's this movie that was done over the span of years. It's a series of short films, Coffee and Cigarettes, and There's one where Jizza and RZA of Wu-Tang Clan are in it, and Bill Murray's in it too. But they open with going, "Is that Bill Murray?" And every time he showed up in this fucking movie, I was just like, that's Bill Murray. Is that Bill Murray? Why is he here?"
And then he gets shot.
Through the
Yeah.
closet.
Yeah, what you
Yeah, he
say?
then opens, even though he's just been shot in the head and should not be physically capable of moving, thinking, or doing anything. He still somehow manages to turn the knob and allow himself out.
This is what I mean by I can't tell if they're like playing these moments for comedy because like that
Oh,
gun
definitely not.
goes off. It, goes through the door, and we know as the audience Bill Murray is there, and we go, "Oh my God, Bill Murray's in the closet." But then like the door opens, and it's like it's like a fucking comedy sketch. It like opens slowly. You see he's been shot in the forehead, and then he just falls forward onto the floor.
Mind you, the blood is the most red dye 40 fruit punch Twizzler color possible.
He is
The
bleeding
furthest
from
red
Tokyo.
from blood is pouring out of his head, too.
Yeah, RFK Jr.'s trying to get rid of this.
Yeah, no, that causes autism. Actually,
Yeah.
getting shot in the head.
It's the same blood they use at the end, the and what you say, and they have a full blown conversation on the floor, bleeding out like it's normal, and it's just what's happening.
So can we talk about fucking Rosencrantz, please? Mr. Heffley?
Young Mr. Heffley.
Steve Zahn is in this movie.
For no reason at all, too. That's the best part. He's just there.
It's just there.
Well, so okay, the insight that I have is that this was produced by Jason Blum, who went on to make Blumhouse Pictures or Blumhouse Studios, which makes like low budget horror movies now. And Ethan is in like every single one. And Steve Zahn as well. They were like all in the same friend group. They were in that weird theater group that Ethan Hawke and Robert Sean Leonard started in the 90s that I'm convinced was a money laundering scheme because I can never find any information about it. But Steve Zahn was an actor in that. And so I feel like this was just I don't want to say it was a boys club because I think they're better than that, but like it was just Jason Blum and his buddies made a Hamlet movie. Julia Stiles is in this though.
Julia
yeah,
Stiles
she's
is the only
Ophelia.
good part of this movie.
Oh, she's phenomenal.
She could play Hamlet. Hamlet could not play Ophelia. Sorry to Ethan Hawke, but
I'm sorry to this man, but
yeah. She does Shakespeare so well. Fresh off 10 Things I Hate About You, straight out the gate with...
Which is also, it's a different Shakespeare.
Turning the shrew or whatever.
Yeah. So like she's got it on lockdown at this point. She just had to go full bore.
I think her guttural scream is the only part of the character that made me feel something the whole movie.
Yeah. That's the only moment where we were like, oh, something's happening.
This is serious. For the first time.
I still think it's funny that she drowned in a fountain.
I still think it's funny that they make out like she wants to fuck her brother.
Yeah, that was weird. But
well, her brother wants to fuck her, I think.
He was smelling her hair clip so intensely.
All around, someone who had like no Hamlet knowledge before watching this, I was like, what the fuck is going on?
This is not a thing in any other version, by the way.
Yeah,
it's just
why I was like, what?
Look, I love Julia Stiles just like anyone else. But if I were playing her sister, I would want the audience to know In this scenario, where I am her sibling, I don't want to smash.
I need to make it so clear that there is a chastity belt. And where do we go from here?
Where do we go from here?
Here's the
movie
thing.
Question about the first 20 minutes in.
Look, this movie is ass. It's also, I would say, not a good adaptation of Hamlet, because that's obviously what it's trying to go for. It's a modern, remake of, and so instead of Denmark being the country Denmark, it's like Denmark hotels. Because like the American mind can't understand that Denmark exists.
You wanna think real hard about what Denmark is?
No. I don't want to know about any country that's not America, the greatest country on earth.
It's the thing that just doesn't make sense, the whole setup, because in a non-ancient monarchy setting, all of the weight of messed up marriage, the religious aspect, the incest, all of that is gone. The whole argument about them solidifying wealth and power and alliances doesn't really make any sense. If he was trying to steal the business, that also makes no sense, because in this version, she's very drugged out in the hotel room, not giving a shit. So she's not running this company. Why does he have to marry her in the first place? None of the setup even gives the movie any seriousness. It just...
Because he can't marry his brother.
Oh, of course, the whole thing just feels very empty.
Yeah, I mean, because the seriousness of, in like a family business that is, there's a lot of money at stake. I understand that, like, on a smaller scale, that, impacts, a lot of people, and like, it is a big deal if someone is trying to take it over, but like, it's not really the same thing as a whole country where it's like, oh my God, this person's trying to take a country from me. And if they take the country, then they're going to be able to run it. And I know they're going to do nasty things, especially since they killed my dad. And like, oh my God, this is so terrible. It's just not the same level of it. If it was like, I don't know, if they had made Denmark like a village or like a small town in New Denmark in Connecticut or whatever, I'd be like, okay, like the scale is smaller, but it's the same. I don't know why they were set on it being like a corporation, like
Because they were
modern.
new and they were like revolutionizing Shakespeare. God.
We don't have wars. We have lawyers in this country. We are civilized people.
I know. There's never been a war in America that wasn't the other person's fault.
Real. For legal reasons, that is a joke. For legal reasons, that is a joke.
Is it? Think about it.
I don't want to think.
If the English weren't such wussies about taxing the tea, we might still be a part of England. Anyway, that's irrelevant. The only good like note that I have written in here is like the scene where Ophelia like wears a wire while she's hanging out with Ethan Hawke was like kind of a good idea.
That and the Polaroids, turning the flowers that she hands out into Polaroids that was cinema. So they did nothing with it, but that's a whole other literary thing I will not go into.
Well, look.
I enjoyed his speech in a blockbuster. That was a good part.
School shooter monologue in the Blockbuster.
I'm sorry, but wasn't it his to be or not to be speech too, or am I losing it? It was
I
something.
mean, that was split up over multiple montage monologue moments, so who knows?
Yeah, he does the speech. I don't know if it's implied that it's in his movie. His movie's fucking weird, by the way. I already mentioned that it's filmed like it's a porno, but it's like a weird film school, like, it doesn't really have a plot. It doesn't really have like a coherent theme or idea. And like 5 people go to see it, so it doesn't even really matter. Um,
He thinks he's doing what Lana Del Rey did when she made video games. That is the only way I can put it.
yeah, you're on the right track there. I'll also say that, in most Hamlet adaptations, for some reason, they always make Hamlet old as fuck, when he's supposed to be like 30. And in this, Ethan Hawke is about 30, so at least it got that right. And he looks vaguely Danish, you know.
Yeah, yeah. That's
So,
it.
yeah, this movie stinks. Like it's kind of sad because I do think everyone's trying to give it their all. The concept just doesn't work.
Yeah.
And I don't think you'd be able to make a Hamlet adaptation like this today because I think you'd just like be laughed out of the room.
Mm-hmm. But like, I think, I'll give them props for like swinging for the fences on this one because like I could get what they were trying to do, but it just fell so flat. But I will like applaud it for not being just another Shakespeare adaptation, even though it kind of is at the end of the day.
Well, I think it's one of the more notable ones.
Yeah. So I will give it that.
Are there any Hamlet adaptations that we know of that do something better than this version? I know I already mentioned that Romeo plus Juliet exists, and 10 Things I Hate About You. So I want to think about purely Hamlet. Like for me, when I was a kid, I didn't realize this, but House of Anubis was using the mousetrap play to catch Victor and his like friends with the ancient Egypt plot. That was Hamlet. That was done so well.
There is one adaptation of Hamlet that rises above everything else that has ever existed. And it's The Lion King, and I don't know why we're denying that for
The
ourselves.
Lion King is the best Hamlet adaptation. It's so good, people don't know that it's a Hamlet adaptation.
It's the next episode, honestly, at this point.
Yeah, we're turning this into the Lion King deep dive, actually.
Yeah. We're gonna be watching Lion King, Lion King 1.5, Lion King 2.
Where they invented romance.
Yeah, we're gonna be watching the Lion King TV show that was on Disney Junior. We're gonna be watching the behind the scenes documentary.
We're gonna go to Broadway and then we're gonna wear it as our Halloween costume too.
Yeah, we're gonna see it on Broadway. We're actually gonna go to Africa and go to Pride Rock IRL.
Yeah, tickets are booked.
Yeah, like it's happening. Yeah, I mean, it is funny that and they pare down Lion King a lot for Hamlet adaptation because it's supposed to be a movie for kids. But like, I don't know, even in Lion King, the emotions are so much more palpable with those cartoon lions than they are in the Hamlet 2000 adaptation where everyone just kind of has like a straight face the whole time and everyone's just depressed. But like
a straight face and a cool
right. and it does the whole like, oh, I feel guilty about my dad's death, and now my uncle is going to take over the kingdom, but I can't go back because everyone thinks that I did it, and so I'm going to run away. And then he does take over the kingdom, and it's ass, and it's like, shit.
But we were
But
taught one very important lesson, and that's Hakuna Matata, guys.
yeah,
If
we
anything
get to
goes
Hakuna
wrong,
Matata in Hamlet 2000.
yeah.
Hakuna Matata was the hat.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
It was
Hell
the hat
yeah.
and the ghost in the vending machine.
That deserves a
It's just-
Denzel.
it's just a bizarre movie.
It's
Oh
all
my god,
over.
and I think with that, we honestly perfectly come in at time. I think we have successfully dissected these 3 interesting movies in an hour, which I didn't think we could do coherently.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Yeah.
did good. And like, obviously, we don't recommend Ethan Hawke's Hamlet. If you're looking for fun and whimsy, watch RSL's Much Ado. And if you actually are looking for an interesting Much Ado, go to Sam's.
Yeah.
100%. And if you're looking for the best piece of movie,
Watch The
piece of
Lion King.
cinema, watch The Lion King.
Best
Hakuna
movie
Matata.
ever made.
It means no worries for the rest of your days, guys.
It's a problem-free
Philosophy. Guys,
Hakuna
Hakuna
Matata.
Matata.
Hakuna Matata. Hakuna Matata.
And then,
Anyway.
and then we can slowly fade that out.
That's the
That's
end.
the end of the podcast.
That'd be perfect.
Please.
Okay. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you 2 weeks from now, hopefully, with a brand new episode where we talk about more movies. The movies never end.
They never do.
They're always
It's like
there.
the circle. It's
We
the
never
circle of
stop.
life.
Yeah, it is the circle of life, and it moves us all.
Hakuna Matata.
Hakuna Matata.
Hakuna Matata.